Hi, I'm Pat from VMOD 3D Library. Today I'll show you how to use VMOD's PBR texture maps in Unreal Engine 5. Let's look at the final render. Here's today's fabric. You can download it from VMOD website for free if you sign up now. VMOD provides high-resolution PNG files for any software programs, and SBSAR files for software programs that support Substance. I'll show you how to create a node-based material and material instance and render it using VMOD's PBR texture maps in Unreal Engine 5. After you download and unzip the file, you can see the PBR maps and mask maps as shown on the screen. Today we will be using only the base color, roughness, metallic, normal, and alpha maps. If you'd like to learn more about mask maps, I recommend this tutorial video. Now, let's move on to Unreal Engine 5. Here's today's scene. We're going to share a project file including HDRI and a completed material. It'll be a great practice if you download it through the link in the description, and go over the process after you watch this tutorial. Let's begin with creating a material. Create a folder in Content Drawer and name it Texture. Among the downloaded PBR texture maps, drag and drop base color, roughness, metallic, normal, and alpha maps to import. Create another folder in Content Drawer and name it Material. Right-click to create a material and apply it to the fabric object in the scene. Now, double-click on Material and move on to Node Editor. Node Editor is a powerful tool that can create simple to complex materials step by step. Today is for beginners, so let's create a simple but powerful base material. This will definitely help you understand the Node Editor. If you've been worried about using it, you should feel more comfortable after today. Today we'll create a fabric material, so set a shading model to cloth. And then, import the PBR texture maps from Content Drawer. Right-click Texture Sample node and click Convert to Parameter to define it as a parameter. Then, change its name. Now, connect the right texture map to each material port. The reason for the convert to parameter is that you need to define it as a parameter, so that it will be available when you convert it to a material instance. In other words, it's for an easy modification at any time. For more information, please see the Unreal Engine 5 Material Instance docs. Next, let's add UV transform feature to the connected texture maps. Add a TextChord node custom rotator and connect it. Create a constant node to connect to the rotation angle, connect it, and change it so that it can be used as a parameter. Now, let's arrange the settings to adjust the scale. Create a multiply node and connect the output of the custom rotator to A. Then create a constant 4-vector node because we need a parameter to adjust the scale. From the constant 4-vector node, add the values of R and G to the append node, then connect it to the multiply node you created. And then, change it so that it can be used as a parameter. Let's move on to an extra step to adjust the offset. Select the two append nodes we created earlier that are connected to the constant 4-vector. Copy and paste them together. And then, create an add node that will be connected after the multiply and connect it to each port. Now connect all of the outputs from the Add node to the UVs of the texture, and you are done. Once the nodes are all connected, you can click on the parameter to rename it to match the purposes, and set the default value for RNG in the material expression vector parameter. For scale, I recommend setting the RNG value to 1 and all other rotation and offset values to 0. The preview looks a little too bright. This is because if we change the material's shading model to cloth, the fuzz color is automatically set to white. But we can't see the material right now, so we're going to create a constant 4 vector and change only A of the RGBA to 1 to make it black, and then connect it into the fuzz color. Now it looks much better. Next, let's add fuzzy shading and hue shift to the base color to enable various material variations. First, add a fuzzy shading node and connect the base color map to the base color V3. Then connect a constant to the core darkness, power, and edge brightness, so that the fuzzy shading can be adjusted on the material instance. And then, change it to a parameter. Now create a hue shift node that goes after the result, and connect it. Then create a constant to control hue shift, change it to a parameter, and connect it. This way, we can make the base color more vibrant with some simple node work. Oh, and please be sure to rename the connected parameters. Now, let's talk about a normal map. In Unreal Engine 5, you should use the DirectX normal map by default. VMOD provides OpenGL's normal map, so we are going to change it from OpenGL to DirectX in the node editor. Since there is no difference between OpenGL and DirectX except that the G channel of the RGB channels is inverted, you can easily switch between them in the Unreal Engine 5 node editor. We will also set up parameters so that we can adjust the strength of the normal map through simple node operations. To set the R and G channels of the normal map to affect the intensity, create 2 multiply nodes and connect them. Then create a constant, connect it to the multiply node, and change it to a parameter. Name it normal intensity and set the default value to 1. It is very easy to change the connected G channel from OpenGL to DirectX. Simply create another multiply node, connect it, and set the unconnected port to -1. The -1 multiply node can be connected anywhere before or after the normal intensity. Now make the split R, G, and B channels into one by using an append node. Connect the output of the last append node to the normal port of the material. And also connect it to the normal port of the fuzzy shading node we created earlier. Now press Ctrl S to save the node graph created in the node editor. Roughness, metallic, and alpha maps can be modified by double-clicking the texture map in the content drawer and then launching the image editor. It is also possible to modify it through the node editor, but it requires too much time and knowledge. So I recommend doing it in the image editor instead. In the content drawer, find the material that was created using the node editor, right-click on it and select Create Material Instance. Drag and drop the created material instance onto the fabric object in your scene to apply it, then double-click the material instance file to launch the editor. Now, let's check if the parameters you set in the material instance editor are working properly. Experiment with parameters, textures, and utilize your created materials to achieve excellent results in your scene. Today we learned about how to create a material and material instance using the node editor in Unreal Engine 5 to use a high-resolution PBR texture maps from VMOD 3D library. If you have any questions about today's tutorial, feel free to leave comments below. We'll be more than happy to answer. We're going to make more videos about how to use digital fabrics in various 3D software programs, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe our channel. See you next time.